Hi everyone, welcome to activation number 5, and please excuse my art shirt. I have been wearing it today because I've been doing art and couldn't be bothered getting changed out of it because it's really comfortable, so there you go. So today I'm going to be doing a prophetic art slowdown activation. This is the painting I've started working on this morning. I'll show that to you again a bit later in the video. But first of all, if you haven't checked out my Facebook page called Spiritual Growth and Giftings, feel free to do that because there's more free resources on there that you might like. If you have checked out my Facebook page, you'll know that the activations I do are geared towards developing spiritual growth or your giftings. And art is a gift that we can all develop, and prophetic art just adds another dimension to that. I first heard of prophetic art probably 10 years ago-ish, and I didn't really know what it was. To be honest, I thought it sounded a bit pretentious, like, oh, I do prophetic art. But it's not pretentious, I just didn't know much about it. So I was a little bit curious about it. I thought maybe people were getting amazing visions from God and just like drawing and painting what they saw, or just sitting there and praying and waiting until God gave them an idea and then painting that. Some people probably do that. There's nothing wrong with that process, but that wasn't my process. So I found it a bit hard to connect the art that I had already been doing to what might be prophetic art. So when I saw examples of prophetic art, there seemed to be a lot of similar themes as well, like eagles, lions, ballerinas, God's, like representations of God holding a baby in his hands or things like that. And again, that didn't really fit with my style, so I thought, what does prophetic art look like to me? And for me, it's just inviting God more into the way that I do art, so that it's like a more of a partnership of like having an idea and then asking God to help me with that idea, and him showing me more things along the way. It's probably different for everyone, so this is not a rule of how to do it. This is just one way of doing it. One easy activation to do, which we're doing today, is the prophetic art slowdown. That's my own little name for it, and it simply means just slowing down in life enough that you notice more of the things around you, nature or objects around you. So I did this during lockdown. I went for some walks. I noticed some leaves in the gutter and I took some photos of them, some nice autumn leaves. My favorite ones, I think I've lost the one I was going to show you. I'll try and lift up my laptop to show you, but that was one of them. It's sort of, you can't see the colour well on there, but it's a nice sort of bluey greeny gum leaf with some pink edges to it. And there was another one that I saw that, well, there were a few that caught my attention, but this was the one that I ended up doing a painting of as well. So that had some nice sort of, I don't know if you can see, pinky tones to it and turquoisey blue. And so I took photos of it, and then just today started working on it. So I would say step 1 for this activation is just slow down, notice more of the objects and nature around you, at home, on walks, anywhere. Step 2, take photos of whatever your eye is drawn to. This will be different for everyone, so I think we all unconsciously probably are more prophetic than what we think, because we're made in the image of God. So anything we're drawn to, well, maybe not anything, but if we're wanting to see the things that God wants us to see and be drawn to the things that God wants us to be drawn to, then what we're looking at, what our eye is drawn to, will reflect the way that God has uniquely created us to tune in with a piece of his heart. And so take photos of whatever you are drawn to look at, not what you think other people would like to look at, what you are drawn to look at. It could be an autumn leaf, it could be a flower, it could be your child's gumboots that have just been haphazardly left on the floor. It could be a piece of clothing, it could be some other object. So just whatever you're drawn to. Step 3 is look back over your photos and pick one that you think you could work with to do your art piece. And so this is just, again, your choice of what you are drawn to. And then I think a good idea for step 3 is also to ask God, why was I drawn to this? Why was I drawn to this particular photo? And in that, he might show you a bit more of what he's placed in you that enables you to see things the way that he does, or tune in with a piece of his heart. And so for me, it was the beauty of the colours and in the leaves, and also it was finding beauty in unexpected places, because these leaves were in a gutter. It had lots of old dead leaves, and the brightness of those couple of autumn leaves really stood out to me. And so it was finding beauty in unexpected places, and of course that is part of God's heart, finding beauty in unexpected places, and that could be the main theme of your art as well. Or you might have something different that stands out. So in a sense, you know, I could say that the prophetic message behind my art is to do with slowing down, appreciating the beauty to be found that's been placed on the earth for us to appreciate. It's not just there by accident. God has placed it there for us to see and to enjoy, because we only pass this way once, and we have a limited time on earth. So maybe the part of that message is to appreciate and slow down so that we see more of that beauty. It doesn't need to be anything profound necessarily. So also step 4 is just make the art. For me, that was sketching it onto canvas. And I'll just show you. I'm doing 2 paintings, but one of them is more complete than the other. This one shows you the initial step. I'm going to do 2 of the autumn leaves that I took photos of. This one is how this painting also started out. Okay, so this painting started out with just a pencil outline like this. I drew with just an ordinary pencil on here, some of the patches of colour, the main lines, the main shape. Make sure you get your proportions as accurate as you can in the drawing phase, so that when you do the painting phase of it, you just put paint on top basically. It will turn out a lot better if you've got like the bones or the skeleton of it correct, or as good as you can. So you can rub out, you know, if you do pencil markings on here, you can use an ordinary eraser to rub that out if you make mistakes as well. So you can do that, or you could do your own medium, of course. This is just giving one example. I use acrylics, so once I got the pencil outline down, and you can see there's a bit of it remaining there. I haven't finished this painting. It's only got one layer of paint on it, so you can still see the pencil there at the side. Then I got, this acrylic paint, and you can buy them for like $5 a tube at Warehouse Stationery if you're a New Zealander. They're pretty easy to come by. They're fast drying. They're not like oils. I'm far too impatient to use oil paint. Unfortunately, I need to work on my patience, but that's why I use acrylics. I mixed up my paint just on a piece of newspaper. You don't really have to have an easel. I don't have an easel. I just put it on newspaper on the floor and work on my painting that way. And this has all my lovely pinks and purples and blues and slightly greenish colours that I used for different parts of the leaf, which the leaf kind of looks like a feather now, but in a way. I've exaggerated the pinkness of the leaf because I really liked it, but I might tone that down a little bit when I do a second layer of paint. And then I'm also going to do the background. I haven't filled in the background with paint, so I'll paint around that for the next part of this. So you can easily do something like this. Think of it as kind of like adult colouring, but with paint, especially with a leaf, because you know, you can sort of block out different areas, draw the outline of where the different areas of colour are to help you when you go to paint that. So there you go. I'll just recap quickly. Step 1, slow down, look around you. Step 2, take photos of whatever you're drawn to look at. Step 3, look back over your photos, pick one that you really like, and ask God, why was I drawn to this? And see if he shows you anything more about his heart or a prophetic depth to that. And step 4, make your art. Either do painting, pencil sketch, or something else. Have fun with it. Don't be too perfectionistic. If you're working from a photo, don't think of it as trying to perfectly replicate that photo, because that's just going to trip you up. Think of it as more trying to capture the essence of how you felt when you saw that object. And it will turn out better if it's not a perfect representation, because it will have a bit of your heart and your uniqueness in there. And again, feel free to check out my page and follow that. Please comment if you have any other questions about my process or ideas for other videos. I'm hoping to do more videos on prophetic art and other things. So if you have any ideas about that, please comment. I'll be interested to hear what you say, or comment on how you went if you gave this a go. Thanks, bye!